Hello and greetings, everyone. So good to see y'all. So good to have you with me this early time on Friday. Happy Friday, one and all. Happy Saturday in some parts of the world. Although, if I'm even earlier, does this mean this is in the middle of your night? Time zones continue to confound me. Much confounding. Much frustration, I tells ya. And oh my gosh, Cosmic Inspinner, you're right. It's Friday the 13th. How did that get over my head? Our first month of the new year, and there's a Friday the 13th in it. Foreshadowing. Usually let the music run its course, but there we go. Things got freaky deaky right off the bat. All right, so let us give some greetings to everyone who's coming in. And I appreciate coming at this early time. So Commodore Steel, Pokemon Fire Eevee, Adam Leisman, who almost guessed the motive behind this early get-together. Let's see here. Katie. And Enderpup. Grim Wolf. Little Heart Raccoon, who sadly could not make it, but we'll see them again. M488 Thunderbird. Who points out that Lightning Bliss's video lesson will also be coming soon today. Hopefully I won't be conflicting with that. But that is the joy of YouTube. You can go back and watch this stream or watch her instructional video just in time. Used to be you had to choose between TV shows. Now you can get everything. And let's see, who else is joining us? Oh, I saw Ranch Hog in the chat, and Ranch, I am so sorry, I can't make it to HarmonyCon this year. It's very disappointing, and I'm sorry I won't get to see you. But I hope you will have just a fantastic time. Give my best to everybody, especially Lightning Bliss and AC Race Best and Saber. I'll be curious to see how they do with Bronies React and Hoofsline. And let's see, Master Gojadoras 91. Forgive me, my mouth seems to need a little practice to speaking today. Blah, 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 blah. And Cosmera Inspira, who pointed out Friday the 13th, ye. Also, The Miner, Ariel Lowry, and Lunabroni, that guy Mikey, AJ Pearson of Toon Paradise, and Christian Parish. Apologies, Parish. Meanwhile, over on the Twitch, we have Arsenal Deathwish, Hunting Rangers 123, Seth Moss 20, and Wolfie Star 10. Greetings to you all, and thanks for checking me out. Now I see Ranch Hogs no in the chat. See, I hate disappointing people. But don't worry, Ranch, you're in for a good time and a very fun convention. Oh, and if the Sheridan still has that freaky robot patrolling their parking lot, please give it my best. Tell it this sentence is a lie. The previous sentence was the truth. Oh, no, get one of those confounding dual ideas. See if its logic circuits explode. Actually, it would be different. It would be the next sentence is a lie. The previous sentence is a truth. Let's see here. So, you may be asking, why on earth do I have Batman and Science Steel Rail meeting up in the middle of of Applejack's kitchen? Well, that's because I got a lot to do today. Far too much, it feels like. But we're going to try to make a dent in a lot of little things, starting with Science Steel Rail. So, we'll say goodbye to our tile card. Yes, I'll save a change. Oh, and also, based on... Oh, Voice of Reason is in our chat. Hello, Voice. Good to see you. Based on some advice from last time, I was told that Spotify has a royalty-free playlist. And so I went over to Spotify. And yes, royalty-free music for Twitch, at least. So let's just see how this goes. If I get claimed, well, that's life. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to start deploying and fade it on up. Didn't count on dialogue, but that could be fun too. How's the how is the music sounding? Is it too loud? Oh, hello, Rusty Helm 93. Good to see you. And Volpacula Einfield. The miner says, I won't get monetary claim because I'm too old. Excellent. All right. So last week I had some trouble with the scripts, and of course, right after I finished the stream, I figured out what I was doing wrong. So let's try an experiment. We're going to do scripts, visibility, right eye 1. There we go. Made it disappear on all levels. Wolfie Star, thank you for the donation. How is the pigeon doing today? Well, I gotta tell you, I am a mix of things because this has been a week of highs and lows. Let me start with a good high. I got to take my dad to see Avatar 2, The Way of Water, and I got to take a friend to see Puss in Boots 2, actually, was it The Last Life or The Wish? Either which way. Both were wonderful experiences with people I thoroughly enjoyed being with. I couldn't, and lucky enough, both movies I found to be exceptional. Now, granted, Avatar, people will say, oh, the plot is exactly the same. Only in the broadest sense. It's Na'vi versus humans, and we humans suck. That is consistent, unfortunately. But the movie itself really focuses more on the children now. The Jake Sully's children and the new future they are building. Wolfie Star rightly corrects me. It's The Last Wish of Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is a trip and a half. As while it is a buddy movie and has many of the familiar tropes, there's not really a liar revealed moment. But their most interesting is their depiction of death. And I don't want to go too much into that without giving away spoilers. So the other thing we're talking about when like it's been out for a while, you know, everyone's had a chance. You got no one to blame but yourself for spoilers. Now let's do another script. Visibility. Lowercase, right eye 2. There we go. Looks a little goofy there. What I learned is that I had grouped the entire head of the character into one large group. And so everything underneath became a subgroup. This script doesn't work on subgroups. Once I ungrouped everything, we were good to go. It's, well, just a little annoying. Okay, let's take the visibility. Right eye 2, let's bring back right eye 1 because we're not quite done with the eyes. There we go. Let's see, fetch 26,291. You saw today's pun. How long before Josh has roast hippogriff for dinner? I don't know, he has to invite me over first, and then of course there's travel and other such plans. But no, I don't know if Josh will ever take part in a revenge video the same as Lightning Bliss, but I wouldn't mind it. Alrighty, so first things we gotta do, we gotta add yet more eye expressions. Watch and behold it as I make a surprised eye. And move you up here just so I can get at that pupil. And whoops, we'll just move that right, yeah? Okay, I'm still unsold on this royalty-free. Lot more words, lyrics than I'm used to. Oh, now Seth Moss 20. If Aramau avenges him, she is, well, I can now say she has 2 buns in the oven. She needs to focus on that. Vengeance is something for her after they get into high school. So, you know, it'll be a couple of years down the road, and all of a sudden Aramau will reap bloody revenge, and I'll have no idea what's going on. Whoops. I forgot. Boop, 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 boop. I do love the ability to undo. Would that life came with that freedom. This is left eye number 5. So now, whenever he's surprised. So let's see here. I mean, I'm still, maybe, actually, I never told y'all. Firebrand told me all of this very surreptitiously just before our stream with himself and Lightning Bliss, saying that, oh yeah, he just can't say, oh yeah, she's eating for 3. It's like, oh, 3. Oh, okay. Okay, so you're gonna have twins. Wow. And then he says, oh, by the way, I'm recording you and your reaction. Is that okay? And I say, sure, but that's the most direct you've been with me this entire conversation. I mean, you know, he's dropping some massive truth bombs on me. And he's just like, yeah, you know, whatever. He's like, oh, the deceit. His children will know the ways of the surprise. I keep making the same mistakes. I keep duplicating and going the wrong way, and then I keep manipulating the current eye. Probably because I'm recounting as I talk. Memory's not great. Now, I told you guys about the highlight of this week, getting to see 2 movies with 2 very important people in my life. But I also have sadness because tail end of last third of 2022, my friend asked me to watch his dog, Bandit, and had a wonderful time. Bandit's a delightful dog, and best part is he recognizes me now. So when at like Christmas and New Year's, he would greet me, where have you been? But this week, my friend learned that Bandit had a failing immune system and that he was in a lot of pain. And the only kindness in that case is to put him to sleep. And it is a kindness. Of that, I am fully endorsing, but it never feels like a kindness. It's a sharp loss, and we miss our pups. And so I am sad too, as I didn't get to enjoy Bandit on a daily basis, but I did get to see him, and I will miss him. And part of the reason I'm streaming early today is that I'm going to go to a dinner tonight that features my friend. I just want to see how he's doing, let him know he's got my support, however I can offer it. Unfortunately, that's the best I can offer, and it always feels like it's not enough. It's a great frustration. Okay. So, having gotten that off my chest, thank you for indulging as I vented for a moment. I'm going to save this. UK Bedesser, bring in a horse. Waving that horse. And let's see here. Thaddeus Fisher rightly says, are you having a good day or a bad day? Depends on what you focus on. Well, let me present an idea to y'all from one Eckhart Tolle. He says that every moment is your friend because it's enabling you to do something. So even though I am sad about Bandit, today is my friend because it gives me the chance to be there for my friend and to offer as much support as I can. That is how it's been, my bud. So that is certainly at least one way to look at it. But it's okay to say, wow, this is really hard. This feeling sucks. That is you being honest with yourself. And it's important to be honest with oneself. Effect blur, Gaussian blur. There we go. And then just little pencil drawing, right? Yeah. Effect blur, Gaussian blur. No, not radial. I said Gaussian. I don't even know what a Gaussian is. A word of Gaussian to you all. Let's see here. Oh, Rosie Sievers, Rose Pal. Loved Sailor Moon Eternal and recently watched it on Netflix. Oh, Sailor Moon Eternal is out now. I've read the manga. And so I'm curious how they will adapt all this. It's been a while. I suppose my favorite part of Sailor Moon Eternal is getting to see all the extraterrestrial senshi out there. All of them who transform. Back in the day, there was a website, the Tomb of the Little Known Senshi. And it was a tribute to all these characters whom never made it to to what was then the anime. Alrighty. There we go. Now we have the glasses that look like that kid from Sin City. Could have sworn I did them last time, but I must have lost them in the shuffle. The brouhaha. The kush amakleva. Now, if I remember right, I have to make sure everything is visible for me to copy and paste items on all layers. It's a bit of an annoyance, but we're going to get through it. And whoops. See, the thing that's going to frustrate me in all this is that if I miss one, I'll have to go through and inspect each layer again. How we still doing on the music? Everyone feeling good? Hello, Event Nebula. How you doing? It's good to see you. Cosmonauts, for being a Sailor Moon fan, of course I came up with my own senshi. Let's see here. I based the 3 senshi off the 3 fates. Although I was, I really could have been more original with the names. I mean, it was just Sailor Life, Sailor Eternity, stuff like that. So never was very good. Of course, I designed a male OC as well, and being that this was in high school at the very early days of my my fandom, I made him a cross between Terry Bogart and Gohan of Dragon Ball. So, your typical, I think, fanfic schlock. Schlock, I say. Let's see here. Yoshibolt Superstar Brony wonders if I'm hype about the Super Mario movie. I am, because it looks to be far truer to Mario, not just visually, but also a spirit of fun, but also Bowser can be a genuine menace, which is only as he should be. Whoop, uh-oh. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm not as upset about Chris Pratt being the famous voice. That is, unfortunately, just something that happens now. Fame prioritized over, say, over talent. But at the same time, I consider Chris Pratt to be a very talented actor. It's just that they didn't go with the best voice actor for Mario, but they went with a very famous and skilled voice actor. Let's go. Hello, Chakafon Car. Good to see you. Jude 3300 wants to know, how on earth did I come up with the weekday pun videos, which I want to make clear. I want to make very clear. They are not to replace anything I've been doing. It's just a fun addition. For Christmas, my mom got me she got me a book of puns, 300 to be exact. And it hit me, hey, what if I shared some of the puns from this book during the week? Now, I came up with a few of my own this week. The origami Pokemon who folds in every battle. That was something I joked about with my friends last weekend. And, what was the other one? Oh, yes. Sweetie Bloom gave me the Pavlov pun. And so one could argue that my pun that involved dear old Firebrand was my own revenge for him keeping me in the dark on his happy new announcement. But I gotta say, I don't think this paste on layers worked. Multi-layer paste. Undefined is not an object. Line 5. Curiosity. Let's try something. Let's just select one layer. Edit. File script. Multi-layer paste. It copied the hat. Why did it copy the hat? I don't recall asking it to copy the hat. I mean, my hat's off to it, but still. Let's just try this a little differently. Let's copy these 3. And then just looking at sad. Trinary, thank you for your support. File script, multi-layer paste. Okay, enough of this. I'm not going through this nonsense again. If I am required to copy paste these things all over, I will. But I'm not sure what's going on with the multi-layer paste. Apparently, there's just an error in the script on line 5. And as I am not Java savvy yet, I do not know what that means, but I'll take a look later. The idea, at least, is to get everything on one layer. There we go. And there we go. All right. Although, actually, let me just check one other thing. I bet I know something I did wrong. Yes, see how everything's off center? I use Command V, paste, but what I need is Command F, paste in place. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right, and then I just have to do a little sorting to really pretty much get this almost done. Almost done. Let's see here. Khalid Hussein, you were wondering if someone from One Direction made it to Equestria Girls. Now, unfortunately, I'm not as familiar with One Direction as, say, millions of others. So, I don't know, I'm sure it would be a highly celebrated event. At the same time, however, Equestria Girls has run its course. I wish they could have a graduation finale, but no such luck. You know what? I find a grand sortation complete with renaming things is really boring to watch. So let's just have a little fun with the scripts again. File, scripts, visibility. Right, I5. I'm just going to copy this for speed's sake. Six. There we go. Left eye, 5. I'm just happy that this script at least is working the way it's supposed to. And then get rid of soulless one. Oh, that's not working. Ah, no wonder.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
There we are. I gotta say, this royalty-free Spotify is all romance. I should be playing this on Singles Awareness Day. Sorry, Valentine's Day. Now, there was also another question from Seth Moss. Why do you think Chrysalis changelings attack cities like Canterlot when that causes fear rather than love? Well, Chrysalis is under the influence of a tyrant mentality. She's not thinking of the benefit of her subjects, the changelings. She says that she's responsible for their food, but we know that's not her main concern. She wants to be in charge. I'm going to borrow from Commander Firebrand one more time and steal a magical aura. I'm going to put this as a magic aura 1. And we'll just paste it in place, bring it on down. So in the short term, they come in and they can strip away all the love that's in the city, but in the long run, they are wiping out their supply. In other words, self-starvation. If Chrysalis were genuinely concerned for her changelings, she'd have them take up residence in the city and enjoy a perpetually renewing resource. But she's not terribly bright. And she always self-sabotages. It's why she neglects to take Twilight as a serious threat, and then she neglects to take Starlight Glimmer as a serious threat. Villains are prone to self-sabotage, and a lot of people say, well, I could do better than that if I were the villain. Yes, but you're not, because you're not a sociopath. Gotta remember with villains, they are not mentally well individuals. Something went wrong. Now, UK Bedesser, Chrysalis is adorable and is an adorable bug deserving cuddles. You know, I'm sure you could cuddle her. I'm not sure how well she'd react to it. Probably not well at all. At all. Now, for the magic, same fill color. There we go. I have a choice here. Usually, magic matches either the cutie mark, which is currently not visible. Let's see. Where's my finder? There's my finder. Body. Let's take away the lab coats. Now there, as you can see, we have a cutie mark that has a red vial and a rail, but I'm not familiar with gray being a magic color. So I think we'll go with the green of his eyes for now. And now that I've changed the body, all the embedded have given. It looks kind of good with just the hat on too. And let's see here. I think for now that's all I need for Science Steel Rail. I need to sort out the eyes and get everything ready. But by and large, we're at the point now where I really could just do a long series of exports and have a pretty wide array of expressions and instances, probably more than I've done for others, because now I can manipulate things and combine them in different ways. So let's say I want him pointing out something. Save it. And it's going to take a minute because the computer has to mull this over. Here we go. Yes. So that's going to be a rather tedious thing. It's kind of ho-hum, just scripting all this stuff out and labeling it, sorting it. I think all of you deserve a more interesting, or at least something a bit more visually appealing. So for now, we shall wish Science Steel Rail a good day and transition to the Apple Family Kitchen. Let's try to make this a little bit simpler. For Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight, I have this view of the Apple Family Kitchen all ready to go. Problem is that for the next Goodnight comic I have to look at all four walls. No, I have not been told to sit in the corner, but I do need to, I do need to get everything all together. Come on. Come on, rise up for me. There we go. The computer is processing. All the processing saved right now because I don't want to lose anything. So we're going to work on this for the next 25 minutes and then shift over to editing. Huzzah. Yes, let's see here. Seth Moss noting that Chrysalis is basically an example of the trope not so well-intentioned extremist. Let's see here. Now Grimwolf is challenging me. So gray is not a creative color? How about green? Is green a creative color? To miss? I don't know what this means. All I know is I haven't seen gray used as a magic color in My Little Pony. If they change that, I'll think, oh, that's neat. But I'm not there yet. Not yet, I tell you. And I may never be. Haha. Anywho. So I've been working on this for a little bit. This is the exit wall as seen. So this wall, I need to add the little display, the little note board here. Little details, but make it actually look like a home. And this always impresses me, the work the MLP staff created all this stuff. However, I also know that they never really kept the details consistent for a while. It's a bit bothersome, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yeah, it's just a bit bothersome. All right. Don't know what this is down here. All right, so let's bring in our references. I wonder if there's a straight shot. Yep. See, there's the little note board. Wolfie Star had to go say goodnight. Wishes everyone sweet dreams and stay safe. So thank you, Wolfie. Have a good rest. Let's see here. Just seeing what folks are saying. Jaka von Takar. Can't we just agree that Caledon was poorly thought out? As such, Crystal's first intro was a bit iffy as a result. Well, here's the funny thing, Jaka. I agree with you that the hasty introduction of Cadence of Shining Armor, I'm always going to be hung up on that. It was very jarring, very hard to get into the episode because I knew right away this was probably the most blatant of commercialisms in a show that is arguably to sell toys. But just because it is made to do so doesn't mean you can't be smart about it. And I felt like in that one, the executives were a bit too much in the driver's seats. However, Chrysalis's reveal was the highlights of that. I was expecting, the ponies make a mess of the wedding, or, it's kind of like Best Night Ever. It's more about all the little things going wrong at a wedding. An invasion by these strange bug-like antagonists and the dark reveal of Chrysalis, I consider to be the highlight. That was the thing that kept it from being a complete disaster for me. It took me a long time to really warm up to Cadence and Shining, especially Cadence, as I feel like she never really got proper focus to develop beyond the picture-perfect princess. Shining got a little bit better, but some of his silliness got to shine through. Actually, that's why I always joked Cadence was an adrenaline junkie. I like the idea of her having something of a hidden side while being a princess. But of course, there are also people who deeply adore a Cancelot wedding. And I would not... Believe me, I'm not saying you folks are wrong. This is my take. I wasn't as big a fan Chrysalis kind of was the big intrigue, but I could see why other people would really enjoy it overall. I've talked with Cadence fans, and I think the big thing is that she gives them the freedom to envision the perfect big sister. Maybe they have not had a sister, or maybe they have a tough relationship with the sister, and Cadence is sort of that comforting idea, which I could totally buy. I almost wish, no, I actually do wish Twilight had gone to Cadence for advice about the whole princess thing. And then we could see Cadence giving advice, genuine advice. I know there was the Crystal Heart spell, but that didn't work out so great. Oh, now hang on a minute. I beg your pardon, Mr. Royalty-Free Music Twitch. Oh, there's a little E for explicit. Let's see here. Go to artist, go to album. I'm sorry, but I will not have that kind of language in my stream. I think not. Why would you even include that? So Jaka continues, Chrysalis' reveal was good, but then we get to the confusing messaging about mixing the populace. Ah, yes. Huh. Enderpup, you can't hear anything. You can't hear the music? But Trinary could hear it. This is very confusing. Welcome, Fire Evie. How strange. Well, let's see here. All right, I'm going to fade out. Spotify, this was a good experiment, but I am not okay with having to worry about explicit music being mixed in with good stuff. So for the moment, I'm going to go back to the good old YouTube standbys. Oh, Evangelion 007, you've made it. Yes, I started a bit early. It's out of character for me. I'm going to be joining up with some friends later tonight, and so I couldn't reschedule for yesterday at the usual time. So now it's just early this time, today. Because, you know, that's not confusing. No, not at all. And I also tried new music, but it offended my sensibilities. Oh, I got the vapors. But anyway. Anywho, I'm just doing a little background vectoring for the next Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight, which they done startled me. They done turned me around when they said, oh, we will only be doing it bi-weekly now. Which, to be honest, I'm actually okay with, because I've been doing like this fevered run to try and keep up with weekly releases of 30 plus episodes. So I'm more than okay with bi-weekly to give me a little breathing room to really give the time to make something look good. Or just to have a night off. Or to work on my next video, which I'll be doing forthwith. There we go. And taper this off. Then one little dash line. There we are. And let's see here. There we are. So, Xander, you mentioned we never got explicit consequences for changeling feeding until season 9. I'm trying to remember what happened in season 9. I know that the Chrysalis captured, I forget what the monster is called. It's a combination of a snake and a bull. And that is an actual mythological beast. But either which way, she done feasted on it, but I don't know if it died or if it shriveled or anything bad like that. I know if you've read the comics and had Chrysalis' fiendship is magic, whoo-hoo, you got to see some pretty dark stuff. More than enough to make the Chrysalis a scary again. Uh-oh, now I see people talking about the new Velma cartoon. I have not gone to check it out. But, I don't know. I was already a little dubious about it. Gonna have to wait and see. I am unsure of its, well, here's the thing. You can have fun with a character from way back. But I've already seen people talking about how they've made it more, quote, adult. And the thing is, a show isn't adult just because you add cursing or the possibility of death or anything. It's adult if it takes on a more complex nuance approach than the TV show previously has. Because, well, adults are supposed to be able to handle things a bit differently than kids. But I remember I've been reflecting on this based on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe revelations. Yes, their revelations, even though that show just didn't work out for me because it's very important. They again didn't understand what makes a story really mature. It's not violence. It's not sex. It's not death or cursing, because that's what some teenager going through a phase would work into their story. No. What really happens is when you have to wrestle with the dilemma and realize there's no perfect answer. What does He-Man do when he's required to take a life, when there's no alternative? Can he still be He-Man after that? Or is that the sacrifice play he has to make? They envisioned that with Superman, I believe. He had to take a life, and that was the end. He said, nope, now I can't be Superman anymore. That was the end of Superman in a sort of Elseworld story. Ah, yes, Xander. Avatar. Even though I haven't gotten to see that part of Zuko's redemption yet, I've heard many, many, many things about it. Zuko's redemption, it sounds like it's on par with Jakar of Babylon 5. If you folks haven't gotten to see the redemption arc of Jakar, oh boy, you are in for a treat. That I consider to be one of the best arcs in television history. So, Volpecchio Anfield, Batman does have his no-kill rule. Unless he's driving the Batmobile, or straps a bomb to a guy and drops him down a manhole cover, or appears in a movie in general. I'm basically saying the movies really haven't honored that view. Which is too bad, because a no-kill policy actually makes Batman's job harder. And to see the Dark Knight struggle to keep that, that's a mature idea to talk about the ins and the outs. I know that he says, oh, it's too easy. If I did it once, I'd never will stop. It's like potato chips ramen. But I think they could do a better job than just saying that. But I hope they keep that voice. That'd be hilarious. Let's see here. Oh, Enderpup. You were calling when the Phantom used Batman's body and accidentally killed the guy. Even that messed with Batman. Wasn't even his fault, but his body got used. And boy, that's a whole other set of issues to unpack. Now I wonder, I was kind of looking to see if I could cheat a little. If I just take this part, can I cheat this a little and not have to draw every blessed plate again? Oops, one too far. Here we go. Let's see here. Rusty Helm says the whole don't kill under no circumstances always bothered you. I will take y'all back for a moment. There was a show I watched when I was a kid, but it was not a regular series. It was more apparently a series of specials. And I only watched 2 back in the day. I recently found more, called Dino Riders. And in Dino Riders, the leader of these peaceful, well, they come to be known as Dino Riders, but they're called Valorians at first, to show how valorous they are. Get it? Meanwhile, his opponent is this giant reptilian alien called, get this, Krulos, leader of the Rulons. That was an actual thing. And he has to survive in the sort of environment suit. So in the last episode, Questar is battling this enemy who's like almost twice his height and double his strength. And manages to cause a breach in the suit. And he's like, if I killed you right now, that would be the end of it. But that's not our way. We're supposed to revere life. And I thought about that for a while, because that is his beliefs and his status is actually something very similar to what's touched on in the new Avatar movie. But ultimately, I came to the conclusion that no, in this case, I'm afraid you're wrong. It's noble, but as Captain Picard once said, it may have been the moral thing to do, it might not have been the right thing to do. You're in a war and are at a huge disadvantage. You can't contain this guy, and his absence will cause a power vacuum amongst his generals/warlords. Killing him may actually be a net benefit above all. Now, I'll grant you, it's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to say, hey, look at what I did. If anything, it would be very noble of him to say, I've done this, I did it for my people, but now I can no longer be leader. And he steps down as a result. That would be an interesting story. He broke their rules, and so perhaps rightfully he can't be the leader anymore. but at the same time, he did it for his people. There's consequence to his decision. That is for sure. Is it bad that you don't have much interest in Avatar? Of course it's not bad. I mean, people sing his praises, rightly so, but ultimately, entertainment comes down to where you want to invest your time and energy. It should never be required viewing just to be in a group. At the same time, I encourage you to be willing to hear people out on why they like it so much, just so it's not quite a mystery. But you don't have to scope it out yourself if you don't want to. Let's see here. Alexander, you raised a good question, but I will not talk about it in this case because it's, still fresh. I don't want to spoil for people. That's something to talk about eventually. Now, I'll tell you all one thing. What was it? Dragon Ball Abridged at the end of the Cell Saga, where they talk about Gohan and he can't rage out on Cell. And Cell, of course, is describing pacifism as a coward with a coward going on about his morals. And even Android 18 says, a good man willing to let evil happen. I feel like that's doing the concept of pacifism a terrible injustice. That it's much more, there's much more to learn about the idea of pacifism than no fighting. But I think that's one case where Dragon Ball Bridge didn't quite match the original, which I believe was more just saying it's okay to be mad. It's okay to not hold back against this evil. Because that is often what heroes struggle with. They're trying to hold back, to not do any harm to the people and the world around them. The villains are not burdened by that effort, and as such, they often appear more powerful, even though it's really that they're just a little quicker on the draw. If anything, one of the most entertaining things I've seen is when a villain kind of realizes, I pushed too far. I've made a terrible mistake. And then they realize as the hero is coming towards them quite menacingly. Let's see here. And again, life is more fun with sound effects. Ba-boom. Errors have been made, yes. Yes, Enderpup, that's a great example of Superman and his attack on the elite. But one of my favorites is Megabyte of Reboot, when he encounters older Enzo. And he's like, oh, little Enzo, back from the games. And yada yada, he's mocking the kid. And next thing you know, Matrix decks him so hard that he not only goes flying, he has a fist-shaped impact on his essentially metal body. And he just looks down at that like, wait, what just happened? What is going on? And boy, that's when Megabyte learned he done messed up. For what was a very limited animation at the time, Reboot put on a terrific fight between these two. And I enjoyed every minute of it, but I especially enjoyed when Enzo won. Well, I say Enzo, but it really was Matrix. It got complicated after that. And then it got stupid after a while. And then it got canceled. 90s, always ending on cliffhangers, trying to force the TV networks to give them another run. It rarely worked. To my annoyance, it rarely worked. I guess I should be thankful Beast Wars didn't end on the first cliffhanger, or the second. There was a Silver Surfer cartoon, and it ended, I think, with the universe being destroyed. So, good luck with that. That's a hard sequel to come up with. Nope. And let's see. Yep. All right, put that behind there. Oh, no, that's weird. What did I do? There's so much on screen. I don't know what I did with the rest of the stuff. There you are. All right, that's progress. Just put this all the way behind. But it is now the top of the hour. It's time to switch to some editing. I'll continue to chip away at this over the weekend so I can have all 4 walls ready for Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight. But all things in due time. Let's see here. Batman, beware the gray ghost. Here we go. I've got episodes from Batman, the Adam West era, and Batman, the Animated Series. Along with Mask of Phantasm, very important for this. And I'll be working off my notes. Ah, yes, folks, Trinary and Brian Luna, I lost it a long time ago. I don't know what it was, but I clearly had it and lost it. Let's see here. Grimwolf, what do you think of Opaline as a villain? I have a feeling she will end up being a softie. I thought the same of both, well, to keep going off reboots, Megabyte and later Beast Wars Megatron. I mean, they were eccentric, but not terribly threatening. And then both had a moment where they, curiously, both took their chief opponents, sealed them in a tube, and launched them casket-like into a doomsday event, blowing up Optimus Primal and exiling Bob to the web. And as such, it was that all you need is that one villainous moment where you do something really bad to cement yourself as a good villain. Opaline has not had that moment yet, but she may yet. She may surprise us. Also, I realized that with audio hardware, I need to send this out to Rodecaster Pro. Hawkeye. So, beware on Leatherwing. No. Where was it? Yeah, Batman doing his thing, looking through, causing all kinds of trouble. This is like one of the best scenes in Batman, the animated series. Let's make sure you all can hear it.
No. No. You are not my father. I am not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
There we go. So, first soundbite, but it's not going to be to those visuals, even though that skull is pretty dang freaky. Freaky sticky. Seth Moss, I have not seen Iroh's sad song yet. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Evangelion 007, I haven't seen The Boys, so I don't know how Homelander is characterized, but I know there's a great deal more profanity, adult situations. I feel like that's not going to match My Little Pony. I am vengeance now. Dreams in darkness. No, not that. I'll need that later, but not then. Yada yada. Let's see, I need a shot of when Batman is stalking his enemies.
Hey, get up there.
He closed the door! Was that too short? I wonder. Yeah. Well, if Batman doesn't even start talking for a moment. Nope. Too bad. That's not good. I need, like, Batman really being in the shadows, you know?
Marriage shattered.
Yeah, that could work. For the days where you could hit someone on TV and would actually connect.
I am the knight.
Let's see here. Almost got him. I know that there's a... Yeah, that silhouette. I love that silhouette.
I am the knight.
You know, honestly, I'd rather keep him in silhouette for all of this, so... I am the knight. I am the knight. Let's see here. Fire for Olympus had a good. Batman comes up.
Who dares? No cause. Like the shadow of ebony at night. He rises from the dark realm. Behold, the coming of my brother, Lord Hades!
Showing the Batmobile, it doesn't really look like he's of the night. Okay, how about I Am the Night? That's an actual episode where he's called I Am the Night. I remember this episode where Batman was so exhausted he thought about calling it quits.
$50 now. Is that? Why can't I look in front of him? It's a world of trouble.
Willie?
No, that's... Oh boy, that comes later. Be a clown? Yes. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of another... Let's see. Man, there's got to be a really good night. Just Batman in the night. Two-Face Part 1. I know he had to keep to the shadows a lot. Whoop. There we go. Yes, I have found my I Am the Night.
I am the knight. I am Batman.
And that part's easy because I can just take that from the opening. Yeah. All right. So that's looking well. Thank you for hanging in there with me as I found what I hope to be the perfect shot. You've also now heard probably one of Batman's best lines ad nauseum. So now we can actually get to Beware the Grey Ghost.
When Cry haunts the night, a silent crusader carries the torch of justice.
Again, we're just going audio on this one. But you know what? From that scene of I Am the Night.
It's that, or I cut out your lip from your hand. It's a world of trouble.
Let's see how this plays out.
When Cry haunts the night, a silent crusader. Willie? Crusader carries the torch of justice. Crusader carries the torch.
I'm going to cheat a little here because it looks like Batman holds that frame himself for a little while.
Haunts the night. A silent crusader carries the torch of justice.
Of course. Add a frame hold. Of course, he holds too long on one scene and not long enough on another. Just by luck. Poor me, decades later from when this aired. Seth Moss asks, who's my favorite evil father with a good son aside from Vader? Well, let's see here. Honestly, the whole I am your father thing is always kind of... I guess Kevin Sorbo's Hercules was a fan for a while, but then I learned how very not Hercules he was. And even Zeus wasn't very evil in that. I have to think about, other than, well, I guess it would be Zuko and the Fire Lord. Let's see here. Jaka Fun, I haven't heard from Norman on this Sunday. That might be a little tough. I might need to ask to try next Sunday instead. We do a recording of the MBS show, and I try to be colorful commentary for brony things, but well, real life has become complicated. All right, beware.
Those with evil hearts, beware, for out of the darkness comes the gray ghost. Those with evil hearts.
Well, I hope 8 seconds is kosher. Well, YouTube always changes its standards. At one point, you could get away with using 8 seconds of a clip.
Those with evil hearts, beware, for out of the darkness comes the gray ghost.
There we go. Actually, this looks a little weird. Let's just check one thing. If I change the scale on this, that's funny. Guess I'll need to take care of that. Oh, and then, gosh darn. Hang on one sec. I need to check my downloads folder to see if I got a clip that I need to install here. If not, we'll go on a merry little chase. That's quite a merry and mirthful chase. Oh! Downloads. Well, that is disappointing. One sec. Let's see here. Let me see if I can answer a question while I do this search. Well, Cartoon Cat Girl, good to have you here. Jaka, we're gonna talk about the Transformers crossover sequel. Let me see what I can work out. Timing is difficult right now. But I will get there. Just give me a sec. Now, Transformers and My Little Pony. I thought that crossed over rather well. I'm disappointed, however, that we never got a third set as featuring the Quintessons. Though I had an idea, and I might as well just throw this out to y'all. There was a lesser-known spin-off of Transformers called Battle Beasts. Never came to much anything over here in America, but in Japan, they actually made it into one of the Headmaster episodes. I wonder if the Battle Beasts would be an interesting addition. A war that doesn't necessarily require Transformers or ponies, but all factions get swept up. Because war has a weird way of involving people, even when they don't want to be a part of it. And I believe Jocka and I had the same thought. We wanted to see Fluttershy work with, gosh darn it. She's the newest Autobot, Windblade. Yes. Fluttershy and Windblade take on Trypticon, the giant Tyrannosaur Decepticon. City. It's very important there. City. It is technically a Titan, but not like any other Titan in the franchise. Come on now. Almost there. 1 second. 2 seconds. There you go. It lied to me about 1 second, though.
And so he says to me, "You want to be a bad guy?" And I say, "Yeah, baby, I want to be bad. Like a church of space police, I'm making ready without the lumps." He says to me, "You got style, baby. I'm gonna be a real villain. You gotta get it." And so I go, I said, "Yeah, baby, I'll give it back to him." It's no sense. Keep playing with fire, Superman. You know, I'm fucking playing with. So he said to me, "You gotta do something smart, baby. Something bad. You want super villain, right?" And I go, "Yeah, baby. Yeah, what do I gotta do?" He says, "You got bombs. You want the comic club. Biggest fat superheroes. You go down in super villain history." And I go, "Yeah, baby. I'm the evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight?"
There we go.
Yeah, baby. Because I'm the evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight?
Okay, that's a start, but I want to see if there's another one. You know, see if there's a little better close-up. That's the word I'm trying to find. Close-up. What's that from, Cosmeta Inspira? This is from The Tick. A very different kind of superhero show. Also, hello, Cherry Fluff Belly. Good to see you.
And so he says, "You're all the way." Yeah, hello. What do you do? Evil's okay in my book. What about yours? I go, "Yeah, baby. Yeah, I just want to wash my hands." Oh, okay. But why does your back say bombs on it? Oh, that's just that. Boom, baby, boom. I'm the evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight? Oh, that's just that. Boom, baby, boom. I'm the evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight?
There we go. That's better. A little closer. Plus, you see Arthur. Those who know will get the visual cue. I lay out all the sound clips from shows first and then go back and fill in my voiceover narration because, well, it helps space things out, but it also gives me sort of little checkpoints to say, hey, you're making progress. Look at this. All right, so we're...
Beware.
Bedtime right after Grey Ghost. Okay, Bruce?
Yeah, he's lost. Bruce is lost to the telly.
Pay up or pay the consequences. 1 million in cash or the Piedmont Bank is next. Signed, the Mad Bomber.
Too long.
Pay up or pay the consequences.
Okay, we'll just have to cut out this middle part.
1 million in cash or the Piedmont Bank is next. Pay up or pay the consequences. Sign the Mad Bomber.
There we go.
Pay up. Pay the consequences. Those bombs. You're not cheap. Okay, answer.
Time for all little gray ghosts to be in bed. Time for all little gray ghosts to be in bed.
All right, let's see. I can't really see the chat while I'm looking at my script, so let's see here. Xander, why do you remember watching that with the blue guy and the moth sidekick show, but at the same time remember nothing? Well, the tick was funny, but I can't say it was lasting satire. I remember a few parts, but mostly because I seem to have a unusual memory for that sort of stuff.
Ghost.
$1 million for the city to end his reign of destruction. The question remains, how are the explosives getting past both police and bomb squad experts?
And what does it have to do with my old hero?
How are the explosives getting...
Odd that all that dialogue fit within a shorter time frame.
How are the explosives getting past both police and bomb squad experts?
And what does it have to do with my old hero?
Now then, the next part needs some clips from Mask of the Phantasm. Thing I'm going to highlight here is that for a time, Bruce Wayne's voice was the dominant, but then Batman eventually became the default, which I thought was a very smart choice on Conroy's part.
It's got to be one or the other. I can't have it both ways. I can't put myself on the line as long as there's someone waiting for me to come home. Miss Belmont, that's how we feel about Christmas. She's only like once. Not odd, but it just doesn't hurt so bad anymore. You can understand that, can't you? Look, I can get money to the city. They can hire more cops. Let someone else take the risk. It's different now. Please, I need it to be different now. No, I can promise. I didn't see this coming. You can count on being happy. I know I made a promise, but I didn't see this coming.
There we go. Batman, was it one of the lead directors for this, Bruce Timm? He described Batman as a Greek tragedy, and I think that scene sums it up. Anyway, next clip, back to the Grey Ghost.
I collect them. It's my life. I got it all. Anything you want. Name.
The Gray Ghost.
Name something else.
You said you had everything.
Except the Grey Ghost. Nobody has it. The studio that made that show, Spectra, it burned to the ground 20 years ago. The negatives went up like kindling. Real shame.
Again, just under that 8-second mark. I don't get it. Let's see here. Coxer and Cat Girl, I agree. This is a great episode. I'm slow in offering a tribute to Kevin Conroy, but I want to. He did such a great job.
So the Grey Ghost doesn't exist?
Anymore. Sorry, pal.
So the Grey Ghost doesn't exist?
Not anymore. Sorry, pal.
I am going to make the point that Collector's kind of taking on the chin in this episode.
The studio that made that show, Spectra, it burned to the ground 20 years ago. The negatives went up like kindling. It burned down 20 years ago. The negatives went up like kindling.
So the Grey Ghost doesn't exist?
Not anymore. Sorry, pal.
Let's hope that's enough. Pokemon Fire EV, why would you eat nitroglycerin in small amounts? I asked that because people are so stupid. Someone on TikTok or something would say that and actually make it a challenge, which is just, don't do that. Do not do that at all.
Trent, you hear me? Trent, I know you're in there. This ain't no homeless shelter. Pay your rent or get out. Lousy has been. Lousy has been actor.
Okay, lousy has-been actor. I am a stereotypical tenant or landlord. Ah. Yeah, I gotta say, that dude has got some strength. I mean, let's look at this real quick. Let me see if I can, like, shrink this down, bring this over. Look at what he's doing. On its own, that stand's probably not like your IKEA particle board or anything. It looks pretty dang solid, and it's got all that paraphernalia on it, and he still lifts it up. Dude is ripped. And saving is ripped. Adam Leisman, well done. You heard of a guy who ate nitroglycerin? He went out with a bang on the toilet. Enderpup, dinner calls. Well, have a wonderful evening, and thanks for coming by. Okay, wait a minute. What's next?
You? I need your help.
That's probably the worst way to introduce yourself. Just come out of the mist and say, I need your help.
Answer, take it and go, please. I used to admire what the Grey Ghost stood for.
I'm not the Grey Ghost.
I can see that now.
Thanks for the several heart attacks and breaking and entering into my home.
I used to admire what the Grey Ghost stood for.
I'm not the Grey Ghost.
I can see that now.
Okay, I might need to tighten that up somehow, but we'll deal with that later. Seth went, this will be the next after the fact. I need to get it done sooner than later, but I don't want to announce the date because Life will hear me and say, oh, that's cute. You have plans. Here, let me ruin them. Oh, welcome, Prince Apollo. Let's see here. Next up on our list of sound clips.
That's it. Is that? That's it. That's the noise. You've got to be kidding me.
I'll tighten that up as well, but the actual line I have after he says, you gotta be kidding me. Really? You've seen Fish modeled to look like the Joker, but an explosive toy car is a step too far?
More than familiar. It's identical. Look, even has the Grey Ghost brand name. Better check it for prints. Thanks. Hey, I owed you. You got me my outfit back. Grey Ghost. Yes? You want to give me a hand with this?
Okay, how often do you get to see Batman fanboy? This is the closest you're ever going to get to Batman fanboying. Venpie, I don't know the production order of Grey Ghost and Laughing Fish, but I will say, even if that was too far back, Batman has fought a guy who transformed into a mutant bat. It was like the first episode. The dude has seen some stuff. So, you know, a step too far. I don't know if anything should come as a surprise to Batman at this point. So, chasing.
This place is amazing. It's just like the Grey Ghost's lair. It's almost an exact replica.
So yeah, Batman fanboy. The Batcave is like a homemade Star Trek set, except leagues better. It's like if you could actually make a working Star Trek bridge.
As a kid, I used to watch you with my father. The Grey Ghost was my hero. So it wasn't all for nothing.
It never is. That's the weird thing. There's an entire element of life where we don't know the impact.
Your prints are on this box that Norris there for you. Your prints are on this car. You had the only copy of the show. The Mad Bomber followed the show step by step. But I'm not the Mad Bomber, Batman. I'm not. I sold my Grey Ghost cars months ago to pay for my... No. It can't be him.
Oh, my goodness. You know, funny thing is, even though Batman is really laying on the intimidation here, I get the sense he doesn't believe what he's saying, but he is laying it out the way I think any person would interpret the situation.
You're finished, Mad Bomber. Time to put your toys away, little man.
I can't. See? I need the money to buy more milk. See? I need the money to buy more toys. I love toys. They can play.
Ah,
See? I need the money to buy more toys. I love toys. They can play songs. They can dance. They can even eat money. Oh boy, can they eat money. All my money. And then, remember an episode of The Gray Ghost. And maybe what else a toy can do? It can carry a bomb. It can hold a city for ransom. Oh, the power of the toy. It can earn millions. Millions for the little old toy collector. Me.
wonder where this guy would rank on Batman's foes checklist or ranking system. Grimwolf, I didn't get to really check out the full Duck Dodgers on its own. Whoop. Don't know much about it other than it was on Kids WB for a little while. Seth, I think I would give T-Rex the most selfish motivation. He doesn't even have a feeling of rejection like Luna. He just wants all of it, for all the magic for himself, just because. The comic tried to give him a deeper backstory, but ultimately I find he is still driven much by selfishness. Adam Leisman, you're right. I thought he could be a proto-toy man, but I don't think Superman was in the works at that point. Let's see here. Alrighty. One more sound bite.
Take it out to him, Bruce. There he goes.
As a kid, as a kid, I used to watch it with my father. The Gray Ghost was my hero.
Really?
He still is.
Aww. Alrighty. So, now that we got that, now we move on to my voice. The voiceover.
At first, this...
Nope.
Frustrated, she asked her... In 1991, voice director Andrea Romano was at her wit's end trying to cast the lead for a new animated program.
Wit's end, I tell you.
In 1990...
Yeah, we heard you.
Voice director Andrea Romano was at her... Frustrated, she asked her friend and casting agent hundreds of interviews, and no one could yet fill the role. Hundreds of interviews, and yet no one could fill the role. And no one could yet fill the role. Hundreds of interviews. And yet no one could fill the role. And no one could yet fill the role.
Yeah, let's see if I can actually make that work.
Hundreds of interviews, and no one could yet fill the role.
Yeah, okay, that worked okay. Okay.
Frustrated, she asked her friend and Frustrated, she asked her friend and casting agent Anthony Borneo, who offered up a name. Anthony Borneo, and then casting agent. Frustrated, she asked her friend and casting agent, Anthony Borneo, who offered up a name. A Juilliard-educated New York classic actor who had zero experience with the character's history.
Yes, this is perhaps the greatest thing I found out about. Let's see here. Commander Steele, I do not know this fearless ferret of which you speak. Good night, Chaka. I will catch you again, and I'll follow up on Sunday. Well, I'm talking about Sunday, I should say. Hey.
At first, this actor wanted to voice any number of side characters as a means of going outside his usual realm. It wasn't until Romano pulled him aside and said, "Don't you get it? You would be in every episode. This is the role you should want." So this actor considered the character's history. And so this actor considered the character's history as described by Bruce Timm, and channeling the experience of both his own life and characters like Edgar and Lear, Achilles, Orestes, and Henry V. This actor had an idea. This actor had an idea.
Thing I love about editing, I can sound so smart with no stumbles, trip-ups, or word slips. Then you hear me stream, and boy, the illusion is shattered.
Two voices. One for the everyday lifestyle, and one that spoke from a deep well of darkness and pain. The voice he discovered from looking into that darkness would become nothing short of iconic.
And that's where we reach our first sound clip. See, this is what I mean by goals, or kind of a progress bar. You have this many sound bites to reach.
I am the knight.
Yep. And while we're here, we'll just slap that motion on these other clips. I don't think it worked. Let's see here. Effect controls. Let's unlink all these guys because that's just making things cumbersome. Huh. There we go. Alrighty.
For an entire generation. Nope, not quite. This narration. So for this review, I would like to explore our generation.
Here we go. Always takes me a sec to find the right spot.
For an entire generation, Kevin Conroy was the Batman. The pinnacle against which all of the presentations would be measured. And to this day, his take on the character is one of the most interesting and complex. So for this review, I would like to explore what made Conroy's role so special, in addition to honoring Adam West, whose own Batman portrayal might not match the current atmosphere, but nevertheless contributed to the Batman legacy. So for this review, I would like to explore what made Conroy's role so special, in addition to honoring Adam West, who... So for this review, I would like to explore what made Conroy's role so special. In addition to honoring Adam West, whose own Batman portrayal... Whose own Batman portrayal might not match the current atmosphere, but nevertheless contributed to the Batman legacy. So let's take a look at Beware the Grey Ghost.
All right, then we'll leave a little space for the title card. But then we reach our second.
When crime haunts the night, a silent crusader carries the torch of justice.
Nope. Nope, not quite. This narration goes to a hero several decades removed. Bruce's own idol, the Grey Ghost. A stand-in for the Shadow, whose own series was a stand-in for the Shadow, whose own series was a heavy influence for Batman's inception.
Bum bum inception. Rum bum. Let's see here, just seeing. Oh, Rusty Helm, you most certainly can be a voice actor. You have no idea how many takes they have to do.
And the episode in question, The Mad Bomber. And the episode in question, The Mad Bomber.
You know, all of entertainment is making the illusion that you know what you're doing or you always have just the right saying, when in reality, the script gives you certain powers.
Those with evil hearts, beware, for out of...
See, I think this goes after. Gotta go backwards in my script. Whoop.
And the episode in question, The Mad Bomber.
And that's where we reach another soundbite.
Boom, baby, boom! I'm the evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight?
Jeez, most clips are too small. This too big. This one's too small. But I think that's because slapped a modification.
Evil midnight bomber. What bombs at midnight?
Wrong cartoon, but I appreciate the nostalgia.
Ah, yes, nostalgia. So powerful, the nostalgia. Cosmic Inspira. Who would win? The Mad Bomber, i.e. the Collector, or Bomb Voyage from The Incredibles? I'm going to say Bomb Voyage because he's willing to be on the scene and therefore is more flexible in his explosions. Mad Bomber, once you're on to his trick, you can counteract him pretty well.
Speaking of, we get a rare appearance of young Bruce Wayne getting to be a normal child. Of young Bruce Wayne getting to be a normal child. Wayne getting to be a normal child.
Bruce, normal child is anything but what I'd imagine for him.
He had a rare appearance of young, but life imitates art as modern day Gotham plastic imitates art as modern. But life imitates art as modern day Gotham plastic goes up in smoke and Batman is on the scene. And as a side note, I doubt this episode would have. And as a side note, I doubt this episode could. And as a side note, I doubt this episode could. I doubt an episode like this could air in a post-9/11 world. Yet, unlike other demonstrations of public destruction, this is treated with genuine impact. There's an emergency response team, a crowd trying to understand what's happening, and the police on the scene. There's an emergency destruction. This is treated with genuine impact.
Let's see, got about 5 minutes, and then I got to start getting ready to go see my buds. So we'll see how far I can get with this here voice act.
There's an emergency.
Here we go.
There's an emergency response teams, a crowd trying to understand what's happening, and the police deal with that happening. And the police on the scene. This isn't just shock value destruction. It's alarmingly realistic. This isn't just shock value destruction. It's alarmingly realistic.
I think the first take was better.
This isn't just shock value destruction. It's alarmingly realistic. It's alarmingly realistic.
Actually, it's a combo. I'll take the
destruction.
The second alarmingly realistic sounds good. Yep. So that was scintillating, isn't it?
These similarities plague Batman. And these similarities plague Batman's memory, even in his dreams.
Let's see here. Just seeing what folks are saying in the chit chats. Got Incredibles quotes going. Yes, being flexible. And my script says, when, even in his dreams. Whoops, looks like I went a little too far.
And Batman is on the scene. Child. But life imitates art as modern day Gotham.
Here we go. Again, the joys of nonlinear editing. Well, I gotta wonder, there's something called node editing out there. Well, I don't really understand it. It's a new tech that I have not yet tried.
Bedtime right after Grey Ghost. Okay, Bruce?
But life imitates art as modern day Gotham plastic goes up in smoke, and Batman is on the scene. And as a side note, I doubt an episode like this could air in a post 9/11 world. Yet, unlike other demonstrations of public destruction, this is treated with genuine impact. There's an emergency response teams, a crowd trying to understand what's happening, and the police on the scene. This isn't just shock value destruction, it's alarmingly realistic.
Pay up or pay the consequences. Sign the map bomber.
And these similarities plague Batman's memory, even in his dreams.
Okay, in my wildest dreams.
I have to wonder. How many times did we get to experience Bruce's life before the tragedy? How many times did we get to experience Bruce's life before the tragedy that birthed Batman? Already, this episode is taking some bold steps in showing just how Batman himself came to be. One aspect of Conroy's portrayal of Batman. Already, this episode is taking some bold steps in showing just how Batman himself came to be.
Alrighty, I think with this last clip in place.
Time for all the ghosts to be in bed.
Evidently, Batman is not a natural night owl, or bat. He had to work up to it.
And with that, I think that's a good stopping point. Whoa, dear. Pardon me, throat got a little tickly there. So now it's time to say again, just wish everyone a good weekend. Thank you for sticking with me on this. while nothing is finished, progress is made on multiple fronts. So hopefully that I can keep that going throughout the weekend and have a lot of stuff to offer next week in addition to more weekday puns. But in the meantime, everyone, thank you for hanging with me and working with this earlier time. I greatly appreciate it, especially on short notice. So I will see you all again next week. Unless anything should change, it'll be at the regular time on a Friday evening. So until then, I hope you all just have a great time and a wonderful weekend. Be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill.